Hello, everybody. Welcome to Shay's Tube, our spooky Tuesday late night with Shay Shay. And thank you so much for tuning in. Welcome to everybody in the bushes. Welcome to everybody who watches us in the replay. And thank you so much for tuning into Shay's Tube, guys. All right, guys, don't forget, there are some things that I want you guys to do. Don't forget, if you enjoyed this content tonight, you can thumbs up this video. Also, hit the bell notifications so you can be notified of any upcoming videos. And if you're not subscribed to this channel, please subscribe below. Let's go ahead and do the copyright disclaimer under Section 107 of the Copyright Act of 1976. Allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comment, news reporting, teaching, scholarship, education, research, and etc. That entire copyright disclaimer is in my description area, will be in my comment area, and some of it is scrolling across the screen. Also, guys, if you would like to show additional support to this channel or any other support besides thumbing up and subscribing and watching the videos and leaving comments, you can also do a cash app to $Shays to show support for our channel. And thank you so much, guys. Thank you for tuning in tonight. So tonight, guys, we are doing, this is like day, I think this is day 10. I mean, not 10, 8, I believe, because we already did 2 days, okay? So this is the 8th day of spooky, true stories, okay, for the season. All right. So tonight, guys, I am talking about Issei the Cannibal. All right. This story right here is another spooky, crazy like story. I mean, this person is just totally nuts, you know. And wait till you hear the story, because this guy did not even serve. If he did serve any time in jail, it wasn't that long. I know one thing, he's not in jail now. All right. So let's go ahead and get ready to tell this chilling, almost unbelievable story of Issei the Cannibal. So, guys, in 1974, 24-year-old Waco University student Issei Zagawa allegedly followed a German woman to her home in Tokyo, Japan. Then he broke into her apartment while she was sleeping and attempted to cut a piece of flesh off of her body to consume. Can you imagine, y'all? Some perverted dude following you home late at night, and then when you go to sleep, he attempts to cut a piece of your flesh to eat. Anyway, when she awoke, she reportedly fought him, and he was later captured by the police. According to a 2012 Vice documentary that covered Issei's bizarre story. Hold on for a second. Here we go with this commercial. Hold on. He was mistakenly charged with attempted RAPE, and his wealthy father paid the victim a settlement outside of court to have the charges dropped. Speed forward up later years, about 7 years later, in 1981, Issei allegedly committed a murder in France, shooting and eating a fellow university student. That student name is Renee Hartfelt. Issei creepily documented the entire experience with photographs, and he was captured by authorities once again while attempting to dump the rest of her body in the Boise de Boulogne Lake. Wow. He was deported back to Japan and was committed to a mental institution. For reasons unknown, his psychologist in Japan declared that he was sane. He's sane, y'all. Furthermore, a legal technicality involving the French government refusing to turn over documents from his case meant that his murder charges were dropped completely. Issei checked himself out of the mental hospital and has reportedly been walking the streets as a free man since. Y'all know what? This guy has even become a controversial celebrity, writing over 20 books. According to Japan Today, he most recently fantasized about an unnamed TV actress, saying, "I'll catch a glimpse of her thigh and think, that sure looks tasty, but I don't feel like I actually want to eat it. As I accomplished the act of cannibalism once, there's no meaning to maintaining the desire for it anymore." In my book, I wrote that human flesh was tasty, but that was not really true. I would much rather eat Kobe beef, but because I desire to consume human flesh for so long, I managed to convince myself that it wouldn't necessarily be delicious. Anyway, Issei Zagara was also referenced in the Rolling Stones song Too Much Blood, with the lyrics reading, "And when he ate her, he took her bones to the Boise de Bologna." He is currently 73 years old and continues to live in Kawasaki City, Japan. To this day, no one knows why France did not allow Japan to give him a trial. And that was, or is, the story of Issei, the real life cannibal. Let me stop this real quick, y'all. Hold on. Now, what do you guys think of that? What do you think of that story? It's very bizarre. Very bizarre. Can you imagine this lunatic walking around you, following you home, waiting till you go to sleep, and then he tries to cut a piece of your flesh to eat? In legal technicalities, made him a free man. He never even went to prison, jail, or anything for this. 74 years old right now. I think they said he's 73 or 74 years old. Yes, 73 years old right now. He still lives in Japan. And till this day, he's walking around a free man. That is crazy, y'all. Now let me go ahead and see, look up some videos of him on TikTok and see if they have anything more to add to this story, like I always do for you guys. Let's see, y'all. Issei the Cannibal. I think that's how you pronounce his name. It may be pronounced a different way. I'm not sure. Let's see. But I'm going to call him Issei. You know, Issei. Let's see here. There are a lot of stories about him. I'm going to tell you that right now. Okay, let's see here. Issei the Cannibal. So here you go right here. Let me make sure. Hold on.
A college co-ed who was also his friend.
Okay, so we're going to start this back over, and we're going to watch this girl talk about this weird little dude. Okay, which he is very, very strange. I don't know how people have a desire to eat flesh. I'm still trying to figure that out, but you know, it's weird people out here, y'all. So let's go ahead and hear him. This is protected by the Copyright Disclaimer Act. So let me go ahead and do this. Hold on. Wait, let me do this.
He killed and ate a college co-ed who was also his friend. He was declared
Let's start it back over. Wait, damn it.
mentally insane for some reason. France dropped.
So let's start it back over, y'all. Hold on.
Japan's killed killer cannibal celebrity. Known as the Kobe Cannibal, in 1981 in Paris, he killed and ate a college co-ed who was also his friend. He was declared mentally insane. For some reason, France dropped the charges, so he went free in 1986. He's become a minor celebrity in Japan. Here's his victim, and he's not even sorry for his crime. The only regret is not eating a woman when she was alive. He says that the desire to eat women becomes so intense during the summertime when they start showing more skin. Japan's killer cannibal celebrity. Known as the Kobe Cannibal, in 1981 in Paris, he killed and ate a college co-ed who was also his friend. He was declared mentally insane. For some reason, France dropped the charges, so he went free in 1986. He's become a minor celebrity in Japan. Here's his victim, and he's not even sorry for his crime. The only regret is not eating a woman when she was alive. He says that the desire to eat women becomes...
That is crazy, y'all, okay? He also said he wants to taste human flesh before he dies. The desire to eat people becomes so intense around June when women start wearing less and showing more skin. So I'm thinking that, like some men, we have a really strong desire for women when they show certain body parts, especially like in the summertime. He's probably has some type of weird desire going on around that time, more so because he's seeing these body parts or whatever the case is, a lot of flesh. And instead of him like having a sexual type thing, he's having more of a desire to want to eat flesh for women, you know. And I find it very hard to believe this dude is still not doing this. Okay, I find this very, very hard to believe it. I just don't believe he just lost the desire all of this time. Hold on, let me let you read this one.
Left off where he was cutting into her booty flesh, poor woman. A quote from him says, "Immediately when I saw the meat, I tore a piece off and threw it into my mouth. What a truly historic moment for me." I'm going to kind of hide this photo, but this is real pieces of her flesh in the photo, so if you want to see it on Google, it's there. Sagawa said that his only regret...
This is the same dude, y'all, so I want you to listen. I'm not going to show you the pictures, okay? You can go to TikTok to see it, but I'll let you guys listen, all right? So listen. This is the same weirdo.
This is part 2 of Issei Sagawa, the man who murdered his friend and was able to walk free. So we left off where he was cutting into her booty flesh, poor woman. A quote from him says, "Immediately when I saw the meat, I tore a piece off and threw it into my mouth. What a truly historic moment for me." I'm going to kind of hide this photo, but this is real pieces of her flesh in the photo, so if you want to see it on Google, it's there. Sagawa said that his only regret was not eating her while she was alive. He said that his true wish was to just eat her flesh and keep her alive. But he said he knew that he had to kill her in order to do what he needed to do. 2 days after murdering Hartveld, Sagawa disposed of the remains of her body. He had eaten most of her pelvic region and then put the rest in the freezer for later, and then he took her head, legs, and torso, put them in 2 suitcases, and then got into a cab. The taxi dropped him off at a local park. This park had a secluded lake that he planned to drop both suitcases in, but several people noticed the suitcases were dripping blood and notified the French police. When police found and questioned Sagawa, his response was, "I killed her to eat her flesh." Sagawa waited for his trial for 2 years in a French prison. When it was finally time for his trial, the French judge deemed him unfit to stand trial and legally insane. The judge dropped the charges and ordered him to be held indefinitely in a mental institution. They then deported him back to Japan to be held in a Japanese mental hospital, but they didn't actually end up doing that. Because the charges were dropped in France, these legal documents were sealed and they actually couldn't give them to the Japanese authorities. Therefore, the Japanese authorities had no case against Sagawa and had no choice but to let him walk free. So he ended up walking the streets of Tokyo doing whatever he pleased. Even though he was caught, this still didn't make him want to stop eating people. He even said that his urges become way more prominent around June because women start wearing less clothes and he can see more of their skin. One morning he saw a woman with a really nice booty at the train station, and he said that he literally couldn't stop thinking about eating her, and he wouldn't be able to go the rest of his life knowing that he can't eat her booty. He said when he sees things like that, he thinks about wanting to eat someone again before he dies.
This is crazy.
He even planned out the exact way that he wanted to cook this woman. Sagawa actually ended up getting the opportunity to write restaurant reviews for a Japanese spa. When he was 72, he lived with his brother in Tokyo. In 2018, French filmmakers went to their house and recorded them talking, and his brother asked him if he ever felt the urge to eat him, and all he did was blankly stare at him and give no response. Thankfully, he's no longer roaming the streets because on November 24th, 2022, he died of pneumonia.
Okay, so he's dead.
This is part 2 of Issei the Cannibal, the man who murdered his friend and was able to walk free. So we left off where he was cutting into her booty flesh, poor woman. A quote from him says, "Immediately when I saw the meat, I tore a piece off and threw it into my mouth." Okay, we're gonna stop that right there. This is a freakazoid, and I'm telling you, he, just like some men, like I said before, have a strong desire, a sexual desire for women when they see certain body parts and things like that, especially in summer. He had, I believe, his was a combination of some type of weird sexual slash cannibalism type fetish as well, because you just heard what she just said that he did. He was doing the most. He was biting into the girl's pelvic area, and he bit into her behind and took a part of her flesh there. Okay, and then they said when they found the girls, or when they, or either he had part of her pelvic area in the refrigerator. That's what they said, something like that. So I think he had a very strange obsession with that, in regards to sexual stuff too. In one part, I did not know that he did go to jail, like she just said, but he got out, because I told you why. But she did leave out the part where the reason why he was freed in Japan, also why he wasn't, because he checked himself out of the mental institution once they found, when everything was some technicalities or something like that. But also he was seen by another psychologist, and that psychologist or psychiatrist said that he was not insane. So that's another reason why he remained free. That's why he remained free, because as I said in this article, let me go back to this article again. Where is it at? Hold on. Go back to the story. Here, right here, I said, here we go, right here. Hold on, wait a minute. Once he shot and ate this other, his fellow university student, Renee Hartfeld, Issei, when he got, when he did everything, dumped her body and all this other stuff, that's where he was arrested and everything. Then he was eventually deported back to Japan, and they committed him to a mental institution. That's the part she left out. And then they said, for reasons unknown, his psychologist in Japan declared that he was sane. And then a legal technicality involving the French government refusing to turn over the documents from his case meant that his murder charges were dropped completely. So then he checked himself out of the mental hospital and has reportedly been walking the street as a free man ever since, even though she said he died. He died, okay, because this was written before he died. So he died in 2022 from pneumonia or something. And it probably was something other than pneumonia or shit. And then told you he became a celebrity. He wrote over 20 books and all that. So it was just a lot of stuff about this man that's very, very, just crazy, and how they even allowed him to be, I guess they had no choice, since everything, there was a legal technicality, just like here, it was something like that, sometimes people go free. So I guess that's why he was able to go free, along with the fact that they did not turn over the documents. The French did not turn over the documents about this guy. But I know one thing, he was a weird ass. Very strange dude. I mean, him having the desire, to eat flesh is just crazy. And then another thing too, she said that in that TikTok video, she said he still wanted to do it again. And I also read something like that. Remember, I read that he wanted to
taste flesh again before he died. I don't know if he got a chance to do it. I really don't, because no telling. Because I just can't. I really can't believe that he did not try to eat anybody else. And then you got some weird people, and some people will even allow you to eat a little piece of their flesh if you pay them. You know what I'm saying? So that's crazy. Well, anyway, he did die at age 73 in December 2022, which was last December last year. Let's see. Yeah, he died of pneumonia on November the 24th and was giving a funeral attended only by relatives with no public ceremony planned, his younger brother and a friend said in a statement. Okay, so yeah, and this is what he looked like later on. He was already looking like he was in a casket. You know how the bodies be looking sometime in those caskets? That's what he looks like in this picture right here. And probably was rich off all those books and stuff. Let's see. So let's see, what else did they say? Hold on for a minute, y'all. And this dude, y'all, let me tell you something. This dude did not keep his crime secret. Okay? In one book called The Fog, he reminisced about the murder in vivid details. Okay, that's crazy. And then somebody else wrote about that dude as well and won a literary award in 1982. This is crazy how people would support certain things. You know what I'm saying? And they do it all the time. He also painted. Okay, he painted pictures of naked women. He was also, some of his work also appeared in a pornographic movie and produced a manga comic book that depicted his crime in graphic and unrelenting detail. Mm-mm-mm. This is crazy. Anyway, he lived his final years with his brother. He was reportedly in a wheelchair after having a series of health problems, including a stroke. However, he never displayed any signs of remorse or reform, telling Vice in 2013 as he looked at posters of Japanese women, I think they would taste delicious. That's what he said in 2013. He also recounted details of the incident and his ongoing obsession with cannibalism in interviews in a 2017 documentary called Cannibal. This is crazy. Yes, this dude, like I said before, I don't know how that psychologist, and it wasn't a psychiatrist, it was a psychologist, even said that he was sane. Okay, because I mean, he was, sounds crazy. And it's, he lived to be 73 years old. He did have health problems. So he was probably paying for some of the things that he did. And he's certainly probably going to continue to pay for it. You know what I'm saying? That's crazy, y'all. But that is that first spooky story. Now I'm going to go ahead and tell you guys the next spooky story. And if you want to read something more on this guy, all you need to do is go over to Google. There's a lot of information about him. Issei the Cannibal. Okay? Issei, the Cannibal. You can just type that into Google or even YouTube, but definitely Google so you can read about him. There is a lot of information about this weird dude. All right? Okay, so our next story, guys, is another um, spooky true story, guys. It's another spooky true story. Hold on for a second. Let me get to it. I got to find it. Okay. Hold on. Give me a minute. I forgot to tell you guys to do something to drink, to eat in a relaxing chair. We got at least another 35 minutes to tell these spooky, spooky stories. And my internet seems to be acting okay tonight. I can't believe it. Let's put this music back on. This is non-copyright Halloween beats by Lawful Geek. Okay, let me turn it down a little bit. It's not too scary. It's more like you can almost dance to this. So y'all, this is the Utah murder suicide spooky story. In September of 2014, a Utah teen returned to his home to find his parents and 3 siblings dead. In a notebook, a to-do list had been scribbled on the pages. The list looked as if the parents were readying to go on a vacation. Items such as feed the pets and find someone to watch after the house were written. It appeared to be murder suicide, but there was no suicide note, no prior indication that they would do this, no explanation. Police could not figure out why 2 parents would kill themselves and 3 of their 4 children. For a year, no one knew exactly what happened to the family or what would drive the parents to do something so unthinkable. In January, police released more chilling details in the case. According to accounts from family members and investigation by police, the parents were driven by a belief that the apocalypse, let me not say this word again, I'm sorry, it's a blooper, but anyway, that the end of the world was coming. In an obsession with a convicted killer, as the Washington Post reported, they clearly had. Hold on for 1 second, y'all. This damn, these commercials. Hold on for 1 second. This is so many bloopers. This is ridiculous. It's hard doing stuff like y'all because it's not like when you, you know, we record it. Hold on, let me just get this ad off here. This is crazy. They got more ads than a damn commercial on TV. I mean, a show on TV. Okay. Anyway, friends and family told police that the parents were worried about the evil in the world and wanted to escape a pending end of the world event. But most assumed they just wanted to move somewhere off the grid. Investigators also found letters written by Christy Strack to one of the state's most infamous convicted killers, Dan Lafferty, who was convicted in the 1984 fatal stabbing of his sister-in-law and her 1-year-old daughter. According to trial testimony, he killed the victims at the order of his brother, Ron Lafferty, who claimed to have had a revelation from God. This story became a book called Under the Banner of Heaven. Police said Christy Strack became friends with Dan Lafferty, and she and her husband even visited him in prison. That was and is the story, the true spooky story of the Utah murder suicide, in which the parents killed themselves and 3 of their 4 children. Oh, wow, y'all. That's a shame. That's a shame, y'all. It really is. Now, hold on for 1 second, y'all. Let's take a quick little break. I got to go do something real quick, and I'll be right back. I'm going to let this music play while I'll take a little break, and I'll be right back. I need to go get my clothes out the dryer, so hold on for 1 second. Okay, hold on for 1 second, y'all. 1 more second. All right, guys. Thank you so much for holding on. We're going to get back to our next story. All right, let's go ahead and get back next to our next story real quick. Again, if you want to look up more information about the Utah murder-suicide, just go to Google and type that into Google, and you can find out a whole bunch of information regarding this spooky but true story. Okay, so we're going to do probably one more story, guys. We have about 30 minutes left. We're going to do one more, and maybe I'll get a chance to tell you another story. We will see. Okay, hold on for 1 second. Let me make sure I got another one in here, because that may be the last one on here that I have. It's not, but I can't read the other ones. So how you guys doing tonight? How are you doing? Hope you guys are doing good. So I'm going to tell you the story, another one about the Axe Murder House. Okay. Now, hopefully I can pronounce these words correctly, because these words be like what? But, if I do mispronounce a word or whatever the case is, you'll have to excuse me, okay? So the next story is about the Axe Murder House, okay? The Bliska Axe Murder House in Bliska, Iowa is a well-known tourist attraction for ghost hunters and horror lovers alike. Let me turn that down a little bit. The site of a gruesome, unsolved 1912 murder in which 6 children and 2 adults had their skulls completely crushed by the axe of an unknown perpetrator, which was purchased in 1994. The house was purchased in 1994. It was restored to its 1912 condition and converted into a tourist destination. It cost $428 a night to stay at this old haunted home, where visitors always report strange paranormal experiences, such as visions of a man with an axe roaming the halls or the faint screams of children. However, in November of 2014, the haunting took a darker turn Robert Stephen Lawrenson Jr., 37, of Rhinelander, Wisconsin. Hold on, y'all. Let me turn this down. Okay, hold on. Stephen Larson Jr., 37, of Wisconsin, was on a regular recreational paranormal visit with friends when true horror struck. His companions found him stabbed in the chest in apparently self-inflicted wounds, called 911, and Larson was brought to a nearby hospital before being rushed in a helicopter to Creighton University Medical Center in Omaha. The Montgomery County Sheriff's Office said Larson suffered the self-inflicted injury at about 12:45 a.m., which is around the same time the 1912 axe murders in the house began. Larson recovered from his injuries, but has never spoken publicly about what happened that day. For Martha Lynn, the owner of the home, the incident was very upsetting. It was publicity, but it was not exactly the kind that you desire to have. I don't want people thinking that when they come to the Villisca Axe murder house, something is going to happen that's going to make them do something like that. The house remains open for tourist visits and overnight stays as of today when this article was written. That was the story of the Axe Murder House, which was the site of a gruesome, unsolved 1912 murder where 6 children and 2 adults had their skulls completely crushed by the axe of an unknown perpetrator. Fast forward to 2014, Stephen Larson ended up stabbing himself in the chest at around the same time the 1912 axe murders happened in that house. That is a spooky, true story. And guys, if you want to know more about that story, again, you can go right to Google and type in the Axe Murder House. Okay, or you can call it the Villisca, Villisca Axe Murder House. And you can read all about, the the murders and all about the house. And maybe one day you can go and visit this tourist attraction and spend the night there for its $428 per night. Okay? All right. Y'all, these stories are spooky, right? They are spooky. Let's touch screen. Okay, let me see if I can tell you guys one more. Let's see. One more that's not too scary for you guys. Okay, I told a lot already, though. I'm not going to lie about that. I really did. I may stop the scary stories right now, though. Let me see what else I got here. Let's see, because I think I went over mostly all of them, with exception to the possession stuff. I'm not going to read that. Told you guys before, I don't read stuff like that. Okay, so I think I did cover all these stories right here. I'm just going down the list. So with that being said, let's see what else I got here. With that being said, I guess I'll just talk to you guys for another 20 minutes and, because that's it with the scary stories. You know what I'm saying? I can't help that, guys. That's it, So we did hear, I think 3 or 4 scary stories. I don't want to do any breaking news. What I'll probably do is that I'll probably do a separate video, maybe tomorrow. Let me see. Tomorrow I have a lot to do tomorrow. I gotta take my cat to get her what do you call that? Her grooming. I'm trying to think. If I can get up in enough time in the morning, maybe I'll do breaking news early. And then tomorrow evening I'll come back and give you guys not a bunch of scary stories like I have done the last 2 days, but it will be one specific story. It may be like a conspiracy theory type thing going on. I don't know for sure yet. But it may be something like that. Because I've been wanting to talk about this subject for the longest. So I'm thinking this time of the season may be a good time to talk about it. You know what I'm saying? It may be a good time to talk about it and stuff. Yeah, maybe a good time to talk about it, guys. And I may do that. So I may do that tomorrow and stuff. And then just do like breaking news earlier and just tell you guys some headlines. Because a lot of stuff has happened. I just don't want to mix it in with my scary stories. You know what I'm saying? Let me see if I can find one more scary story before I end the night. And then we are going to get out of here. And I hope you guys are enjoying this. Excuse any bloopers. It is very hard to read these stories with the music in the background. And then some of these names and stuff, they're just pronounced different ways. And you just, even when you practice, you still will, some people still make bloopers like myself. They're just talking about, like I said, they have a lot of articles about this Issei dude, the one, the cannibal. There's a lot of stories about him. You can do his actual live just about him, but I'm not trying to do that. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm just really just trying to tell you guys scary stories. Let me see if I can find one more true scary story for you guys. Hold on for 1 second, but I will be talking until I find it, if I can find it before this time run out. Let's see. Yeah, pretty exciting day today, though. I'm not gonna lie. I did a lot today. I took my daughter to college, picked her back up. Just so much. You know what I'm saying? So many things. Let's see. Maybe I can read this one. I did so much today. Basically everything for them because I didn't even go to work today and stuff. So basically with them. Let's see. So I'm going to tell you the story from, these are people who are telling these stories, guys. Now, I don't know if these things are actually true, but they claim they are. Okay. I don't know for sure, but I may be able to read two, but we will see. But I'm going to read at least one. Let me put my music back on. And this one is called The Phantom Patient. All right. So we're going to go over this one real quick. Okay. Okay. So here we go. The ambulance. You check out the way I just said that. The ambulance. Okay. The ambulance company that I used to work for had a haunted ambulance, Rig 12. Okay. A lot of EMTs had stories about it, but I never put much stock in paranormal stuff. That is until I had my own experience with Rig 12. My partner and I were working in a rural community at 3 a.m. and it was pitch dark and completely quiet. We were both dozing off. I was in the driver's seat and she was in the passenger seat. I woke up to a muffled voice, but I thought my partner was talking. I told her I was trying to sleep and closed my eyes. I distinctly heard a male voice say, "Oh my God, am I dying?" Followed by a few seconds of heavy breathing. My partner and I sat up straight and looked back into the patient's compartment where it sounded like the voice had come from. Things were quiet for a couple of seconds. Then we heard the click of an oxygen bottle regulator and a hiss as if it was leaking. I turned on the lights and we ran out of the rig. I thought a transit might have climbed in while we were asleep. So we opened the rear doors. No one was there. I checked the oxygen bottles. Neither was open. We didn't sleep much after that. That is crazy. So I can imagine in those ambulances. Y'all got to excuse the way I'm saying this word. In an ambulance, okay? I can imagine that, sometimes the EMT people probably do see or hear something, hear noises in there. You just never know, y'all. You just never know. These stories right here come from different people, from different Reddit users, okay? Let's see. Okay, let's see. I got enough time to tell one more. Okay, let's go ahead and do another one, y'all. Let's do the eerie attic. Okay, let's see. A few years ago, I moved into a one-bedroom apartment in Melbourne, Australia. They went on to recall. It was my first time living on my own. The apartment block had been built in the 1930s. I had been there for a few months when I came home from work one day and went into the bathroom. I saw something strange. Hold on for a minute, y'all. Here we go with these commercials again. Let's see. A wooden board which had covered a hole in the ceiling that led to a small attic space lay fractured in two pieces on the ground. I examined the pieces. The board was an inch thick, and it would have taken Bruce Lee to break it. I thought the landlord had sent someone to work on the attic. I was frozen stiff with fear. Someone is up there for sure, I thought. I emailed pictures to the landlord asking if anyone had been there. With an undertone of annoyance, since she had warned me, her reply read, "Please call me as soon as you are able to." I called, and she explained that her last two tenants had said the same thing happened. She promised to replace the board, and she did. Anyway, a month later, I woke up one night around 4 a.m. My body was covered in goosebumps. It felt like someone was rubbing his or her hands on me. Everything was silent, but then I heard a dragging sound coming from above my bed. It was as if someone was pulling a sack of potatoes. I froze, convinced someone was up there. There is no way an animal could make that sound. After 5 minutes, I woke up. I woke the I woke I worked up the courage to turn on the light, armed myself with a cricket bat, and walked to the bathroom. That's when I saw that the new board covering the hole was broken in two. I felt sick. The dragging sound had stopped, but I heard something else, whispering. The sound was clear and coming from the attic. It sounded like children's voices, and I could hear one sentence repeated over and over. It's your turn, it's your turn, it's your turn, it's your turn. I switched on every light in the apartment to make things feel normal. It was 5 a.m. and dark outside. I watched TV to try to unwind. Then a fuse blew. My pet budgie, Dexter, whom I kept in the kitchen, usually never made a sound at night, but he started squawking like he was being strangled. I never heard him make those sort of noises. He was screaming. I grabbed my car keys, ran out, sat in my car, and waited there until the sun came up. Wait a minute, hold up. He left his dog in there? Wait a minute, hold up. My pet budgie, Dexter, is that a dog? Anyway, when I saw people walking their dogs, this comforted me enough to go back in. The front door was open, but I figured I might have forgotten to close it when I ran out. I went to the kitchen to check on Dexter, but he wasn't in his cage. Oh my God, why did he leave? Is Dexter, what is a pet bougie? Bougie, pet bougie. I gotta see what that is. Is that a dog? I don't know. Anyway, he said, I felt sick again. All my windows were closed, so I looked everywhere inside. When I walked to the bathroom, I heard splashing. Dexter was half drowned in the toilet. I took him out, washed him, and dried him. I was so confused. At 8 a.m., I called the landlord and gave her a watered down version of the night. Oh, wow. You heard the whispering too, she said. I don't know why this person stayed in this apartment so long. I stayed in that apartment for another 18 months. I heard the whispering on a few occasions, and twice the board covering the hole in the ceiling moved. Although I live somewhere else now, the landlord recently called. She said that her new tenants had begged to speak with me about some of the stuff that's been going on there. Forget it, it's their problem now. That's crazy. So let me see what a pet budgie is. Because is that a dog? I'm still wondering. Hold on for a minute. I'm still wondering exactly what that is. Let me see a pet budgie. Budgie. Let's see what that is real quick. A pet budgie. Because I hope it is not a dog. Let's see. It had to be. Let me see. What is a pet budgie? Let's see what that is. I think that's how you spell it. Let's see what that is, y'all, real quick. Oh, it's a parakeet. Okay. It is one of the smallest of the parrot species, commonly kept as pets. So he just left that there, huh? So whatever it was, they could have got him. Okay. But I guess, I mean, he probably was scared. So what can you expect, right? He probably was scared. But that's a crazy ass story. Don't you guys think you would have moved out after hearing this, all these noises and stuff and everything over and over again? I would have left. Because why would you stay in a home or apartment after you hear all this stuff going on and just hearing your bird screaming and stuff and then finding your bird half drowned or whatever the case is? I would have left. How could you stay there for 18 more months and sleep at nighttime? That's weird. That's very, very strange, y'all. That's very strange. Let's see. I think we have enough time for one more story if I can go back to it. Because guess what? I made a mistake and took it off the page. Scary. Let's see. No. Hold on. Let me do this again. Y'all, hold on for a minute. Oh, my God. That is a crazy story right there. I'm still trying to figure out why did he basically stay in that house even though all that stuff that he saw. So let me see. Maybe I'll do one more real quick. We got about 6, 7 more minutes. We're not going to read about no trick-or-treater or this right here. So I'm going to tell you about the one that came to the Halloween. Let's see. He went to a Halloween party dressed as one of you guys' favorite Halloween characters that killed people and made jokes, cussing and stuff, Freddy Krueger. Okay? So anyway, let me go and tell you this story. Anyway, a Halloween party in San Antonio, Texas was in full force one year when a man dressed as Freddy Krueger showed up uninvited. He opened fire on the crowd, killing at least 5 people. All right? Then we have one night in Long Island, just before Halloween 2014. A decapitated body laid in the street, 5 feet away from a severed head. To many people who was passing by, the horrific sight appeared to be a Halloween prank, but the truth was far more disturbing. 35-year-old Derek Ward had used a kitchen knife to unalive and decapitate his mother, Patricia, then carried the body in the head out of their apartment. After leaving the body in the head in the street, Ward jumped in front of a commuter train, killing himself. Man, these people are nuts, y'all. Goodness. Okay, we're gonna do one more. What time is we got? So we got another one, y'all. Hold on. This is about the Japanese exchange student who knocked on the wrong door. 25 years ago, 16-year-old Japanese exchange student Yoshiro, dressed up as John oh God, John Travolta's, I know I just said that wrong, character from Saturday Night Fever. Then he headed out to a Halloween party in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. Tragically, he was mistakenly dropped off at the wrong house, and the homeowner, panicked by this unexpected visitor, shot in unalive this 16-year-old Japanese exchange student. Anyway, the homeowner was later acquitted of any wrongdoing. That is crazy. So he was dropped off at the wrong house, and he was dressed up as John, you know, Travolta from Saturday Night Fever, and then he was heading out to a Halloween party in Baton Rouge, and he was dropped off at the wrong house, and the homeowners panicked because they wasn't expecting anyone, and they shot in unalive this 16-year-old boy. That's sad, y'all, but this is a true story. And then we have one final one. It's about the psycho who was wearing the same mask the killers wore in the film Scream, which is the ghost face mask. Anyway, it was a guy wearing the ghost face mask, and he was murdering people in their town on Halloween night in 2013. He shot in unalive a 19-year-old dude by the name of Anthony Seabury before disappearing into the New York night. And I'm guessing they never found out who this guy was. In one more story, I got these minutes going by so slow. In 1945, teenagers in Toronto spent Halloween night rioting and building large bonfires that they stoked with gasoline. When police descended upon the scene, the teenagers fought back, throwing rocks and blocking the fire department from putting out the fires. Police arrested 14 of the rioters, but instead of calming things, this led to a mob of thousands of teenagers gathering in protest. And the teenagers stayed there all night long until water was doused on them, as well as tear gas. And then the final story for tonight, guys, is about a dude who opened his door to find a trick-or-treater who would end his life. In 1982, 69-year-old Marvin Brandland was getting ready for bed after a night of handing out Halloween candy when there was one more knock at his door. Brandland opened the door to find someone wearing a pillowcase over their head with the holes cut out for eyes. The figure said, "Trick or treat." I'm so hoarse. "Trick or treat. Give me your money or I will shoot." He then pulled out a gun and ordered Brandland into his basement, where Brandland kept a safe. Brandland, figuring this was a prank, since only family members knew about the safe, grabbed for the gun. The person in the pillowcase fired, hitting Brandland in the throat, killing him. The killer fled, leaving the pillowcase at the scene. In 2010, the pillowcase was tested for DNA, but there wasn't enough DNA on it to make a match. That is crazy, y'all. Y'all, these last stories were all true and very scary. There are some crazy people out here, y'all, and that's on everything. So be very cautious when you're out there in those streets, or even when you're at home and you're opening the door up for trick or treaters or anybody, you know? All right, guys, that's it for the spooky stories for tonight. Thank you so much for tuning in. I want to thank everybody in the bushes for watching. Thank you to everybody who watches this in a replay. Hopefully YouTube will show this. You know what I'm saying? I don't know why they stopped showing my videos and stuff, but eventually they'll start showing them again. Let me go ahead and turn this off real quick, y'all. Hold on. Because here they go with all these commercials and every day on thing else. But anyway, y'all, don't forget to thumbs up this video if you enjoyed this content tonight. Also hit the bell notifications so you can be notified of any upcoming videos. And subscribe to the channel if you are not subscribed. Welcome to all my new subbies. Thank you so much for joining Shay's family, our family now. And thank you to all of my subbies that's been with me from day one. I appreciate each and every one of you guys. You have been a blessing. I'm getting more and more subscribers, and soon I will be at 1,000. And when I do make it to 1,000, I'll probably do a little giveaway, y'all. Just probably something, that you guys can possibly use. You know what I'm saying? And I'll probably do that once I get to 1,000 and everything. Not 1,000. What am I talking about? Not 1,000 subscribers. I'm sorry. I'm not going to do that. Wait a minute. Did I say 1,000 subscribers? I'm trying to think. What did I say before? Did I say 1,000 subscribers before, or did I say the watch hours? No, actually, I'll probably do the giveaway once I obtain my watch hours completed. I only have about 500 more watch hours to go. Okay, so either I'll do the watch hours, or either, what am I at of subscribers? 833 or something like that, 836. Or either I may do 1,000 subscribers. I don't know which one yet, but I will do a giveaway. Probably a small cash giveaway or something like that. Just to show appreciation, and that's what I'll probably be doing. I haven't did a giveaway. I did do a, no, did I? No, I haven't done a giveaway in about 2 years, and I did that on my shopping haul side. So I don't think I ever did a giveaway on this side of my YouTube channel. So once I reach either the 1,000, whichever one come first, the 1,000 subs, or either the 500 or 450 more watch hours I need, whichever one come first, I'll give away a small cash out prize to a person. Okay. And we'll talk about that when I get to that. You know what I'm saying? When I get to that point. All right. Other than that, guys, again, if you want to show support to this channel, you can do that by doing a cash app to $ShadesTube. I'm going to wish you guys a beautiful, blessed night. Hopefully these stories did not scare you. They're not scary stories like that anyway. I mean, they are scary, but they are like true stories as well, with exception to the ones that I read from Reddit. I don't know for sure. The people say they are true, but, the Reddit things could be true. It could not be true. But the other stories that I told you, those are 100% true. All right. And again, you can look up all those stories on Google or YouTube. All right. And with that being said, guys, we are getting ready to get out of here. I think I told you guys everything I had to tell you. You guys have a good night, and I'll see you guys in my next video. And don't forget to go watch my other videos, thumbs those up, check out my shorts, and check me out on TikTok at ShadesTube. All right. Other than that, guys, I'll see you guys tomorrow night. I'm probably going to do a breaking news sometime in the morning real quick. And then later on that night at about 7:30ish Pacific time, I will do another spooky topic. All right. So until then, guys, have a good night and blessings. Peace out.